What's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all know what it is, man. We here. We are here. The first episode of the Keep It Authentic podcast. I am your host, Blanco. And I'm just here, man. Look, it's the first episode, bro. The first episode, I'm excited about it. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of work put in behind the scenes, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I'm saying? But we here. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long journey already, but we know we got a long journey ahead of us. But we here and we gonna try to make it do what it do. So anyway, man, like I said, we on the first episode, and in today's episode, man, I felt it only right to start it off like this because I've been watching the situation play out for a minute, you know what I'm saying, for a couple years now. So in the first episode we're gonna be discussing Adin Ross. And as y'all can see from the title of the video, you know what I'm saying, we gotta get this dude up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't continue, we can't keep continuing to let these young kids, you know what I'm saying, who start off, you know, streaming, video games, and then they enter into the world of, now they got their face on the camera. So now, like a lot of people have been saying, you know, in their content, we can now see you. You know what I'm saying? We can see who you are. So it's like, it's no longer you hiding behind joystick anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I think what a lot of these streamers continuously forget is that, you know what I'm saying, you're still in the real world. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be successful at this streaming, game or the podcast game or content creation game, you're going to have to move around. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no way around it. You're going to have to move around. You can't just, you know, barricade yourself in your house. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to leave. You're gonna have to come out. You're gonna have to mix and mingle with people. You know what I'm saying? The people that you want to interview, they're not gonna always be able to get to you. Sometimes you're gonna have to travel to these people. So that entails you having to move in and out of different cities and states. You know what I'm saying? So if you're one of these people that like to get on the internet and, for lack of better words, the young kids, they call it trolling. You know what I'm saying? If you're one of those types of people that like to get on the internet and troll people, you have to keep in mind, you have to keep in mind, it is essential. There ain't no way around it. You have to keep in mind that everybody ain't the same. Everybody is not going to react the same. Everybody is not going to take it as a joke. You know what I'm saying? And this is why, you know, we're talking about this conversation right now. And there's been a lot of other, bloggers and content creators, discussing this same situation. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get in here and get my input on it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I've been watching this, this situation play out for a couple years now. Y'all have to remember, this kid started on Twitch. He was on Twitch and he got banned from Twitch for doing the very same things. Like, this kid is truly the definition of a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Like, this kid built his name off of, you know, pretending to be gay, you know, and we're going to leave it at pretending to be gay. Because, like I said, I don't know him personally, so I can't tell you if he's gay or not. Now, can I tell you that I've seen him do a lot of suspect activity that could make one think that he was gay? Sure. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have seen it as well. But anyway, like I said, in this episode, man, we're gonna be getting into, you know, some videos of what's been going on with this Adin Ross kid, right? So now, if y'all don't know, you know, the latest situation, well, there's actually two recent situations that he's involved in right now. But cause he's in a class action lawsuit right now with Drake. And there's a lot of people suing him with the stake situation. Stake is a online illegal gambling service. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be fucking with it or whatever. What's popping? What's popping? But I almost lost my train of thought for a minute. I was looking at that. That sound kind of fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm new to this, so we got to get used to all these different alerts and what I'm saying sounds and shit. But listen, right? So what I was saying was that what I'm saying he's involved in the class action lawsuit with Drake. And that's what stake. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what stake is, it's basically a illegal online gambling service. You know what I'm saying? And him and Drake is being accused of taking money funded through stake and using that money. They're actually being accused. They're saying that they was using the tipping feature or the tipping service on stake. I ain't never been on stake, so I can't really tell you what that is. But there's videos out here if you wanna go check them out and decipher that for yourself. But the gist of it is that they're being accused of uh taking money that stake is giving them. You know what I'm saying, and using the tipping service to you know, I guess buy bots and fake streams to boost Drake's numbers. You know what I'm saying? Um, why they would want to do that is beyond me because Drake was doing pretty good numbers without having to fake streams and shit like that. So I don't know why they would want to do that. And then the most latest situation that he's now involved in, like I said, everybody should know this by now. There's been a lot of content being ran on it, but he decided that he wanted to go after the artist Doechii. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to say that she dissed him in her most recent song that she just dropped with SZA called "Girl Get Up." You know what I'm saying? Now, yes, in the song, she did address some things that not only Adin Ross has said, but there's been a lot of different content creators. Academics said that he didn't like her music that much. He said he thought she was an industry plant. Joe Budden said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not the issue of that. You know what I'm saying? You're the only one, saying it. You know what I'm saying? There's quite a few people who said things about her, but you took it to another level. You know what I'm saying? Like you just made it your point to completely, disrespect this woman, this black woman to be exact. So, in turn, Glasses Malone, a West Coast crip, artist, uh, motivational speaker, all that good stuff, right? he decided that he was going to step in and check him. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? I applaud what Glasses Malone did. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like at the end of the day, right? When are we gonna say enough is enough? You know what I'm saying? So it's like Glasses Malone, he stepped in and he decided to let him know, hey, listen, bro, you know, we're not gonna tolerate you continuously disrespecting this black woman. You know, you calling her all kinds of dirty bitches, unintelligent, smelly bitch, blah, 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 this and that, right? You know what I'm saying? So Glasses Malone said, listen, bro, we ain't going for that. We not going for that. We just ain't going for it. So then Adin Ross decides to double down on it. You know, like shit was game. You know what I'm saying? And once again, this goes back to what I said in the beginning, that everybody is not going to take the disrespect the same way. You got some people that's going to be like, hey, look, I don't really care, you know what I'm saying? He's a little streamer kid, you know, it is what it is, whatever. But then you got other people out here, you know, that's going to be like, look, bro, you know what I'm saying? We're like, we ain't going for this. So anyway, right? So he goes on his rant. Glasses Malone decides to check him about it. You know, then, you know, he doubled down, he tripled down, and some more shit, right? So what happened was is that, you know, once he realized that Glasses Malone wasn't playing with him and he was dead serious about what he said, he in turn decides to call Whack 100. Now, like I said, if you into the social media game, we all know who Whack 100 is. You know what I'm saying? He started on Clubhouse, you know what I'm saying? He from the West Coast as well. You know what I'm saying? He got the podcast with Adam 22 from No Jumper, the Adam and Whack show. You know, and you know, like we know, Whack has been known to get on the internet and, you know, troll motherfuckers and get into it with motherfuckers too. But Whack is who Whack is, you know what I'm saying? So, but you know, Whack does strike me as the type of motherfucker that if he say, you know, whatever, you know, Whack just strikes me as the type of motherfucker that's gonna stand on business. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I don't know Whack 100 personally either, but I'm usually a good judge in judging people's character. You know, Whack do a lot of trolling, you know what I'm saying? But I think if it really came down to it, Whack would stand on business if he had to. Just like G Malone would stand on business if he had to. So it's like the situation got to the point to where, now he wants to, you know, threaten to have people arrested if something's done to him. Now listen, let me say this right. I don't condone violence. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that, yeah, I wanted to see Glasses Malone hurt this boy or do something to this boy. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes some folks gotta be taught a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Now, I believe he's gotten the point. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, not only is Glasses Malone not playing with him, but there's a lot of people out here that's not playing with this kid. You know what I'm saying? So I think now he's gotten the point. You know what I'm saying? There's been some other incidents that has happened, you know, from this situation. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into this first. We're gonna get into this video and shout out to Read My Soul. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw this on his channel. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of good content over there on his channel. So make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel, Read My Soul. But we're going to get into this video. And this is basically how this situation between him and Doechii started. You know, man, in this first clip, you know, when the video starts, you're going to see this little black kid with him. And black kid, his name is Cuffin. You know what I'm saying? And he's also a streamer on Kick. And this is what a lot of the people are talking about. He surrounds himself with a lot of these young black kids. And then these young black kids, they sit and let him do the disrespectful stuff just because they trying to get some money. Or they trying to, they just feel like, oh, it's Adin Ross. He can provide us with opportunity. And it's like, listen, bro, you know, so you basically willing to sell your soul. You willing to compromise your dignity, your respect, your pride, you know, for a bag. You know what I'm saying? If you that type of person, then, you know, like you need to reevaluate yourself. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we're gonna get into this video, and we're gonna basically see how this, you know, initially started. So let's get into it.
I'm going about Dochi tomorrow, but I ain't going to that dumb fat bitch. Sorry, she's not fat. That dumb bitch, that fucking.
Now hold on, let me stop right here for a minute. Now you see the little black kid sitting right there next to him with the glasses on. That's the dude Cuffin. You know, I guess that's one of the little young black streamers that Adin Ross supposedly put on and got him a little kick deal or whatever. So, you know, he feeling like, you know, he doing the same shit that basically Adin doing. You know what I'm saying? But y'all just watch it.
Botted. Dude, that's fucking stupid, smelly. She dropped from
Stop talking about the black queen.
I don't give a about none of that. Yo, let me tell you something right now.
That mad because she made it. No bots.
Look at her monthly listeners right now. That went from 60 million to 20 million.
She blew up.
For what? From
making
what?
Music.
Cradling cock and balls? Like, what are you talking about?
Adin Ross is a clown, and we need to leave him in 2025. We do not need to bring Adin Ross and anybody that aligns with his thinking or his way of being into 2026. See, Adin Ross has been a controversial figure online for quite some years, and he's recently been coming across my radar due to the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef.
2021 plus, Drake's killing him. If it's 2010 plus, Drake's killing him. Kendrick's catalog is horrible. It's fucking ass. Nobody listened to Mr. Morale. Wait, can you name 5 songs?
Y'all hear this shit, man? He said Kendrick Lamar's catalog is ass. Nobody listens to his music. Now see, this is the same motherfucking attitude that Drake ass had too. You know what I'm saying? When he decided to get into that battle with Kendrick Lamar, he walked into that battle with that same attitude. Drake felt like he was on top of the world and couldn't nobody touch him. You know what I'm saying? You know, Drake was doing the same shit. Y'all remember when Drake was going around and he was saying that, you know, Kendrick had his moments, but he didn't have no consistency or no real like body of work. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember that when he was on that what was that, wasn't that the what was that, the QXC show or something like that? And then he did a summit, and you know he was talking about it at a summit. He did a summit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure y'all seen it. But anyway, we're gonna keep going now. You know, he's talking about, you know, Kendrick Lamar's catalog is ass. Now, you know, they're in a little store or whatever they're in right now, and he's about to ask this kid in here to name, because he's claiming that Mr. Morale, you know, in the Five Steppers was a horrible album. You know what I'm saying? And he's betting that, you know, nobody can name 5 songs from the album. So he's gonna ask this kid to name five songs off that album. And when the kid names the 5 songs, watch his reaction.
Songs? Yeah, off the new album?
20. Off the new album.
Yeah. What? Oh wait, Mr. Morale. Can you name 5 songs of Mr. Morale?
Count Me Out, Worldwide Steppers, N95. You know, there's Auntie Diaries.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I'll give you props for that. I'm not gonna lie. That's a tough one.
He is.
Yeah. Now, did you see his reaction? You saw his reaction to it when he named them 5 songs off of there. You know, his reaction was totally different. He's like, "Oh, I'll give you that. That's a tough one." It's not a tough one, bro. You know, if you're a Kendrick Lamar fan, you know what I'm saying, then you're gonna know, 5 songs off of most of the albums if you listen to the music like that. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, he didn't think that the kid would be able to name 5 songs off that album, excuse me. But let's keep going.
Is a popular streamer who got banned on Twitch and then went over to Kick and started, basically doing whatever he wanted on Kick because.
Now, see, remember I told y'all he was on Twitch before. You know what I'm saying? And he got banned from Twitch for doing the same weird shit over there. You know what I'm saying? And then when he got banned from Twitch, he went over to Kick. Now, if y'all don't know, Kick is they going through a situation right now too. I don't know how serious it is as of yet because I think it's fresh. But on Kick, you can basically go over on Kick and do whatever the hell you want to do. There ain't no terms of service over there. You can basically go over there and say whatever you want to say. I mean, it's a free for all. And the way they entice people to come over there is right basically by that, giving you the freedom of speech to come over there and say and do whatever you want. And, you can make a nice little bag over there. You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing is they're basically trying to compete with Twitch. And I'm going to be the first person to tell you, rocking out like this, the way y'all platform is set up, y'all allowing these kids to come over here and disrespect adults, you know what I'm saying, and just be outright disrespectful to people, do all kinds of, suspicious and weird activity, and y'all just feel like, okay, it's okay as long as we making money from it. Like, they part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna talk about Kick, and we're gonna get to Kick in another video. Let's keep going.
He was left unchecked.
I have work to do. I'm done. I fixed it.
Where you going?
Now look at this weird shit he gonna do.
I'm ready, bro. I'm really gonna do this shit. Y'all don't understand, bro. I'm really.
Y'all see this shit? Like, what kind of motherfucker does shit like this? Like, who sniffs a man's chair after he gets up out of it? Like, what are you sniffing for? Like, what are you going to smell the man's ass? You want to smell the man's balls or something? Like, why are you sniffing this man's chair after he just got up out of it? But like I was telling y'all earlier, man, this is what he built his career off of. And you can't really put all the blame on him because you got people that support this shit. You got people that actually tune in to watch this kid do this type of weird shit. Like, this is crazy. Whose fucking mans is this? Like, real shit, man. Whose mans is this? Come get your motherfucking homie. This nigga is on the internet sniffing chairs that a grown ass man just got out of. Like, I wouldn't even care if it was a woman sitting in the seat, bro. Like, that's just weird. Like, that's just weird, bro. That's like going in a public restaurant, like an Applebee's or something, right? And, you know, every time somebody get up, you just going over and sniffing their chair in front of a restaurant full of people. Like, no, people gonna look at you and they gonna be like, man, whose man's is this? But let's keep going, man.
He's a controversial figure, but I think he's tiptoeing into something that I don't think he's honestly ready for. And it's kind of pissed me off. I hate to bring light to a guy like Adin Ross, but he's pretty popular and there's plenty of videos on him. So if you want to go watch and get a full breakdown of Adin Ross and how he rose to popularity, there are plenty of videos on YouTube to show. But recently he's been going viral, getting publications because he is getting sued. He is in a class action lawsuit with Drake, Adin Ross, and all his cronies. They were using the tipping feature to pay for bots, and that was kind of their way of hiding the cash flow. At least that's what is being alleged. Allegedly, these things are true. There is a class action lawsuit that just went live today, top of the year. So that's what's going on. But also, what really made me do this video is his reaction to Doechii and SZA's recent song.
Why sell my soul when I know I'm God? I be in the bag, levitating.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, Doechii and SZA went absolutely stupid. Dope song, amazing song. And
Yeah, for sure. Like I listened to it the other day, matter of fact, and I fuck with it. It's a dope song. But once again, you gotta keep in mind, right? This woman has never mentioned this dude's name. Matter of fact, she's never mentioned anybody's name. You know, and like I was saying to y'all earlier, right? He's not the only one that threw out the industry plant narrative. He's not the only one that has said her music isn't that great. You know what I'm saying? He's not the only one that said that. You know, like I said, Academics said he didn't really care for her music. Joe Budden said the same thing. But she never mentioned Academics. She never mentioned Joe Budden. She never mentioned anybody. You know what I'm saying? But because she addressed some things that a lot of people had already put out there, like the industry plant narrative and that type of shit, because she addressed that in the song, he was the only one that took it personally. But let's keep going.
And Doechii got everybody in her feelings. More specifically, she got Adin Ross in his feelings.
Why? I talked about you like 6 months ago before you fell off. You're falling off now. The only way you were getting a click is if you had me in you know, a part of the song. Bitch. Fuck. Shit's ass. You suck. Go yell at 9-to-5 workers.
It really made me think about where we were in 2025 and where we need to be in 2026. There's a war.
Okay, now see, that go yell at 9-to-5 workers, that comment was made because, you know, I don't know if y'all remember, but Doechii had an incident where, you know, she got into it with some of her assistants or some of her staff, right? And it was on the internet. But, you know, it wasn't like she, you know what I'm saying, you know, intentionally did this. You know, it's like, you know how you a star, right? You a rapper, you a singer, you an actress or whatever, and you got a staff. You know, you got people that do your hair, you got people that do your wardrobe, you got people to do your makeup, all kinds of shit, right? So like, if you got an event jumping on and your staff ain't, you know, efficiently, you know, getting things taken care of, then, you know, you could become a little upset, you know what I'm saying? And in the heat of the moment, like some people, you know, we get hot, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it wasn't nothing for, you know, a person. Like, you ain't really see nobody running no content on that. You know, it floated around the internet for a minute, and then, you know, it was gone. You know what I'm saying? Didn't nobody really trip on it. You know what I'm saying? Because we understand that in the real world, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, when you have a staff of people and everybody who's on the staff, they all have a role to play, right? So it's like say for instance, okay, I'm a rapper, right? And got all these staff of people with me. You know what I'm saying? I got a hairstylist, my barber, you know what I'm saying, my producer, an engineer, my manager, excuse me, my PR team, all these people I got with me, right? The bodyguards, whatever. Okay, look, everybody just with me got a role to play. So like if you the barber, right? And we got this event that's jumping off, you gotta make sure that, I'm fresh. You gotta make sure I got the fresh cut, but you gotta make sure it's done in a timely manner because I got a whole bunch of other stuff that I gotta get done. So it's like you gotta make sure my cut is fresh, my lineup crispy, my fade is tight, all that good stuff. Then I gotta go to the hairstylist and she gotta braid and twist my shit up, right? So now, that's like a haircut by itself, that could be like a, 20 minute, thing, depending on the barber that you're working with. Then you got to deal with a stylist after that who got to braid your hair. That could be another, 30 minutes to an hour. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, then you got, you got the wardrobe people, you know what I'm saying? And you got to go look at the outfits that they done picked out and, and pick something out of there. So it's like everything got to be done in a timely manner, right? So that was basically that situation that happened with her, you know what I'm saying? And somebody just happened to catch it on the internet, you know what I'm saying? But let's keep
going on outside. And guys like Adin Ross, they are literally rage baiters. They are literally there to be counterculture to anything that is seen as the mainstream, which is crazy because now those type of people are the mainstream. The Joe Rogan, the Alex Jones, the globalists. It's crazy how all of these years, Alex Jones and the guys that were counterculture, right? The guys that were on the back burner, they were complaining about how there was a PDF file within our government that controlled the money system. And now that is there, they're kind of switched their tune and are focusing on Doechii. And so I guess there's this idea and this concept out there that Doechii is a industry plan.
And fishy, ain't nobody heard from Doechii?
About what?
I knew you would say that.
No, I don't know.
Me neither.
What, the industry plan shit?
Move right along.
Yeah, won't know. Why you asked that question?
Because I thought it would be a little more obvious than it is, but I guess it's not yet. But
does anybody know what that is?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Doechii. What gives off plant vibes is when a general newcomer like yourself gets given all the accolades at these award shows. People think you're a plant not because they hate, but because they're confused.
It's crazy that is a thing because her rise to fame has been documented on the internet. She has been on YouTube.
So I got fired.
Right. So this is what I'm saying, right? Okay, listen. Okay, I get what Ak is saying. I get that. Okay, so if you're somebody that we never heard of before, we ain't never seen you, we ain't never heard none of your music, we just don't know nothing about you, then all of a sudden you pop up on the scene and then you start getting all these accolades. You start winning Grammys and getting this and this and this. Okay, yeah, a normal person would probably think, okay, there's something a little fishy about that. Okay, but listen, this girl's career has been documented on the internet. I don't know about y'all. This is not the first time I've heard about her. I knew about her a few years back. You know what I'm saying? And for those of y'all that don't know, this girl did not just pop up on the scene. She been grinding for probably a good damn near 10 years now. At least 8. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like she just popped up on the scene a few months ago. No, she been grinding for a minute. It's just now, she just now started to break through. She's just now starting to become a household name. A lot more people in the mainstream are now starting to know about her. But she didn't just pop up on the scene. She been grinding for a minute.
Today, I don't give a fuck. Either way, I'm gonna be straight.
I think tomorrow I'm just gonna go to a whole bunch of like studios, ask if they have any internships open, and also just like ask questions. Like I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna go in studios, record label companies. Like I'm just gonna go in and ask. Who gives a fuck? Like this, I have nothing to lose.
See? So you see what I'm saying? Like she basically letting y'all know, listen, I've been grinding for a minute and like this shit's starting to become frustrating now. So I'm about to go in. I'm about to hit all the studios. I'm about to hit all the record labels. I'm about to become a nuisance. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, she been grinding for a minute.
I literally have nothing to lose. I have no place. I have no job. I have no children. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who fucking cares? I'm just gonna do it. I'll let you know how that goes.
Anything is possible. Don't allow anybody to project any stereotypes on you.
Hold on, wait. So basically you see it say 5 years later. So that video that we was just watching, that little clip where she was just talking about, you know, she ain't got no kids, she ain't got no job, she ain't got shit to lose. Like, what else is there to do? You know what I'm saying? And then basically 5 years after that, you know, she's winning a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? So basically, like I'm saying, you know, once again, like this industry plant shit, like I don't even know where that came from. Cause it's like, okay, listen. So you telling me she been an industry plant in the industry for 5 years? That's a long motherfucking time to be a plant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to be no plant for 5 years, you know, maybe a couple months or something. You know what I'm saying? But like, hell no. But let's keep going.
That tell you that you can't be here, that you're too dark, or
Like her career has been right there, and you could see it from when she was just doing things in her room into where she's at now. Now the crazy thing on the song "Girl Get Up," she doesn't even mention the word streamers. What she does say is, all that industry plant shit whack. I see it on the blogs. I see you in the chat. You suck every rap dude from the back.
But what's the agenda when that it girl black?
You can't fathom that I work this hard, and y'all can't fathom that I earned this chart.
Y'all can't stand my vibe cause I'm anointed.
Y'all evil assholes just annoying. Blame it on the fame, blame it on the coke.
Blame it on the say got you feeling low.
Y'all want to believe I'm on drugs or forsaken. They won't credit me, so they blame it on Satan.
And blame it on my label, blame it on my team.
End of the day, everything is me. Miss Bag Lady, Little Miss hired them hoes, then fired them hoes. She says, they calling me intellect amongst rap. I still be popping them my sisters, so I can't agree with that. These misogynistic. I'll address it on the album.
For now, let's sink it to the fact that hate don't make you powerful.
Y'all monitoring spirits. Go monitor that checkbook. Fashion Week was radical. Diamonds what my neck took. Tried to turn the other cheek, but y'all too damn extra. I had to take it in the stew and show these pressure.
Father, forgive them. They gon' be hurt when I deliver.
Album 6 months. I need an effing babysitter. I did 8 years of failing, plus a lot of cold winners. Used to be starving artist. Now I want the whole dinner. So basically, she just went into the booth and addressed the smut that has been on her name. Academics, Adin Ross, they all have been using her to rage bait people, and so she went in the booth and addressed it. And you know, that's what hip-hop is. When people are talking about you and there's things out there, you don't be on blogs or chat or in comments writing dissertations, or on Twitter writing a whole dang book report. No, you go in the booth and you speak on it. And so she did that, and so Adin Ross linked up with 6ix9ine.
Fuck that. You know I'm a Jew. People with me. You know I'm a Sue. Fuck Doji. Fuck Doji. Fuck Doji.
Another completely, let's say a person who, you know, you could say is a culture vulture, but tries to be counterculture. Like, that's their host.
Now listen. I just got one question about that, right? Because now listen, they ain't gonna lie to you that this song that, you know, him, 6ix9ine, and the Cuff'em dude made, that junk was trash. You know what I'm saying? But you don't really see nobody on the internet talking about that song because we really don't give a fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, you know, and like, who cares what 6ix9ine got to say, bro? You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that 6ix9ine don't make good music, because he does. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason that he's able to still, you know, stay somewhat afloat. You know what I'm saying? Because he does make good music. You know what I'm saying? He does. You know what I'm saying? I can't take that from him. You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, right, you are a person who came into the game portraying yourself to be a blood member. You know what I'm saying? And then when the real shit happened, you know what I'm saying, and you was facing 45 years in prison, folded. You folded like a wet napkin, bro. You know what I'm saying? You folded and you told on everybody. And then you came to the world and you tried to convince us that you was justified in it because these dudes was extorting you for money. These dudes was getting over on you. Supposedly you say the dude shoddy fucked your baby mama or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we've never, you know, gotten any confirmation of that. At least I've never seen any confirmation of that. I remember she did an interview about it and she said nothing ever happened between her and Shadi. Now, whether that's true or not remains to be told. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know, you're a weirdo too, bro. You know what I'm saying? And let's not forget, you had a weird case, you know, involving a young girl. You know what I'm saying? So like, do you think we really care what you gotta say about anything? Now, don't get me wrong. 6ix9ine do bring up some valid points when it comes to motherfuckers picking and choosing, you know, what rats they gonna fuck with. It's like, listen, okay, if this nigga a rat, but you know, for some reason, you just feel like, you know, he got a bigger name or whatever. Like, you can't say it. So it's like, listen, okay, it came out not too long ago that Young Thug did some snitching. You know what I'm saying? And we heard the audio tape with him talking to the police, you know, and him telling them, listen, I tell you whatever you want, just don't tell him I told him. You know what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, you can't pick and choose. Niggas is still fucking with Thug. Niggas is still doing music with Thug. Niggas is still fucking with Thug. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Who else? Boston Richie was accused of being a rat. Niggas is still fucking with him. Niggas is still doing music with Boston Richie. You know what I'm saying? It's just 6ix9ine. You know what I'm saying? Like Gunna. Gunna was accused of ratting. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are still fucking with Gunna. You know, motherfuckers still doing music with Gunna. It's just 6ix9ine, bro. And the reason that motherfuckers ain't fucking with 6ix9ine like that is because it's like, okay, listen, bro. You portrayed, you know, a gang member basically. You know what I'm saying? You portrayed being a blood gang member. And when it was time to stand on business, you couldn't stand on business, bro. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you know what I'm saying? Certain people, like, we can't respect that. At least I can't respect that. But I'm not picking and choosing. I'm not respecting nobody that's acting like they in the streets, you know what I'm saying, doing this and that, but then you talking to the police. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are. I don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I understand we live in an era now. We live in a generation now where it's cool to be a rat. Like snitching is accepted in most places. Now I'm not gonna sit here and say that we still don't got real niggas out here that, you know, still respect the code. I'm not saying that, you know, but it's not a whole lot of us. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
Stick is like whatever's the norm, I'm gonna challenge it. I'm gonna be rude, I'm gonna be disrespectful, I'm gonna be a terrible person. But because I'm honest and I say that, I'm gonna disrespect anybody who is trying to be on the right side of history, who's trying to showcase a better, more mature mentality to themselves, and I'm gonna disrespect them. That's kind of like the whole thing of like the 6ix9ine, Adin Ross, academics, right? Those streamer guys, the Andrew Tates, right? That's what they do. They went in and they made a diss song to Doechii, and that wasn't the problem. It was just he's calling her all types of B's and hoes, and it's pushing borderline racism. Like, this dude has already been called a right-wing, racist, misogynistic streamer.
Puka's had a tough week. He went on Adin Ross's stream, and Adin Ross was...
Okay, hold on. Now, this situation right here, right? Now, like I said, the reason why I like this video, and once again, shout out to Read My Soul, man. Like I said, make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to the channel. He got some good content over there. But listen, you know, the reason why I like this video, right, is because we get to see multiple situations. We get to see the multiple weird shit that this kid does, man. You know what I'm saying? So what basically Joe is discussing right here in this little segment of the video, right? Okay, there was a stream that Adin Ross did with the Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I didn't see the stream, so I can't really tell you what happened. I didn't see it, you know, but I guess Joe seen it, you know what I'm saying? And I heard a couple other people bring this up. I seen it floating around on X and Instagram, you know, a while back. So I know about the situation. I've heard about it, but I didn't actually see the stream myself. But anyway, right, he had the Rams wide receiver on there, Puka Nacua. He had him on there, and basically, you know, he was trying to show him how to do a touchdown dance for when he scored a touchdown, right? Because y'all know how all the receivers and all the football players got their little touchdown dances and shit, whatever. But now, the dance that he showed him, it was basically like a racist, anti-Semitic, like hand gesture. You know what I'm saying? And like I've seen Elon Musk do it. And when Elon Musk did it, you know, motherfuckers, you know, they fried his ass up for it. You know what I'm saying? And we've never seen him do it again. But like, so like, at the end of the day, this is what people are talking about. It's not like it's been one incident or two incidents. It's multiple incidents, bro. It's just multiple weird shit that you do. And like, at the end of the day, right, I feel like this. You know what I'm saying? When you have a person, right, that is constantly, you know, doing shit. Now let's remember this, right? You gotta understand, this is a 25-year-old kid. You know, because he's definitely, I mean, in theory, he's a grown man. But he has the mindset of a child, bro. He has the mindset of a kid. You got to remember, he started off streaming, playing 2K. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he still has that mentality of a young kid streaming video games. You're not doing that no more, bro. You now got your face on camera. You now have to interact with multiple people, bro. You're now a multi-millionaire. You know what I'm saying? And because of that money, you just feel like that money gives you the power to be able to just say and do whatever you want to do, bro. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Because you got to remember, bro, it's some of us out here that we don't give a fuck about what connections you got. We don't care about the money that you got, bro. It's the principle of it. You know, it's a lot of us out here that still stand on morals and principles, bro. So it's like, that's what it boils down to. You know what I'm saying? And it's like at the end of the day, you know, you surround yourself with people that you know don't have no morals. They don't have no values. They willing to do anything for the bag, bro. They don't care, bro, because like I said, at the end of the day, the cuff 'em dude, right? You a young black kid. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure, you know, you might not have came from a struggle, but I'm pretty sure, you know, your life wasn't all peaches and cream. But once again, I don't know him personally either, so I can't really speak on that. But the point that I'm making is that, right, okay, here it is. You a young black kid, and you're sitting next to somebody else that's disrespecting a young black sister. You know what I'm saying? And like the little when you sitting there in your video, remember earlier in the video, he's sitting there, Aiden sitting there going off about Doechii, and he's like, hey, don't disrespect the black queen like that. You mad because she made it. No bots. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was lightweight trying to be funny, because you cracking little smiles and you laughing and giggling while you saying it. So, like, we can't really take that serious as you checking him. Because, like, if you were serious, you would have been like, hey, bro, listen, you do realize I'm black, right? And you sitting here, like, disrespecting this black sister right here in my face, bro. Okay, look, we don't have to like her music, bro, but I ain't finna let you sit here and disrespect this girl like that. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, she didn't mention your name in the song, bro. She may have addressed something that you stated, in the public as far as her being an industry plant. Okay, but, that could have applied to a few people, not just you. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, but, it's just like the multiple weird shit that you do, bro. Like, you was doing this very same shit over on Twitch. The only difference is that when motherfuckers started to speak up about it, then Twitch got your ass up out of there. Because Twitch understood that, okay, listen, we're $1 billion motherfucking company. I think Twitch is worth like $80 billion right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they understood that, okay, look, we're an $80 billion company. We don't care how popular this kid is over here. We don't want that type of negativity. We don't want that type of smut on our name. So Twitch banned his ass. The same way when Academics was over there and he got caught and people, screen recorded the little sexual weird ass conversation he had with the 15-year-old little kid. He got banned off of there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the difference is though that, okay, when that situation happened with Act, right, he addressed it. He addressed it, and initially, he tried to, like deflect it for real, but like motherfuckers held him accountable too. And eventually he understood it, and he apologized for it, and he moved on. You know what I'm saying? Now we all know Act is known for, calling out motherfuckers, but Act gives his opinion on different things. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't always agree with Academics either. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know what I'm saying? I've never really seen a situation where like Act has done what Adin Ross has constantly did. I've seen Act go at it with folks. I've seen him go back and forth with certain people. And, like you said, you can't really say nothing bad about Drake to Act. You know what I'm saying? But even now with Drake, he's starting to come around and understand that, like Drake, he just did a video. I don't know how old it is, but I just seen a video he did on Drake where, he's like questioning Drake. He's like, yo, Drake, like, why you keep doing the fuck nigga shit? Cause like y'all know, Drake is known for fucking niggas bitches. You know what I'm saying? He fucked Wayne girl when Wayne was in jail. He fucked the Weeknd girl. Like, Drake is just known for that. He's notoriously known for that. And it's like, Ack is probably the #1 Drake fan in the world. You know what I'm saying? And, so when your stand, he's the stand of the world for Drake. When your stand gets on the internet and says, yo, bro, like you my GOAT, but like, you got fuck nigga behavior, bro. You know what I'm saying? That says a lot about your character, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? The shit just crazy, right? But let's get into what Joe got to say.
Teaching him a touchdown dance to do for when you get your next touchdown.
Okay.
And the touchdown dance was some anti-Semitic hand gesture that Puka did on the stream. Adin Ross be knowing. There's a little clique of those racist little white fucks. The racist little white streamers.
Playing games.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So Puka's had a tough week. He had to issue a statement saying, I had no idea that hand gesture meant XYZ. I'm sorry anybody I've harmed.
That's a really fucked up thing to do.
And I just don't
it's awful.
fuck with him, yo.
Yo,
That's crazy, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't fuck with him
Bro,
at
that
all,
shit
yo.
could, you know how much
can I
shit
say
that could have
something?
affected?
Adin Ross he went on Logan Paul's podcast. See, I don't be in the white people business. But him and the other little racist white boy, Steve Will Do It. Logan Paul wasn't playing none of that racist shit.
Good on him.
Homeboy said something, Logan Paul said, yo, get the fuck out. Get up, get the fuck out. I'm not gonna ask you again. I'm gonna remove you myself. It's gonna go a different way if you don't get the fuck out of my face right now. Yeah. Like they thought he was playing. Like they thought he was like, hey, what you mean? Nah, all white boys ain't on.
I see. That goes back to what I was saying earlier. You know what I'm saying? Now Logan Paul's white. You know what I'm saying? But that don't really mean shit. You know what I'm saying? What I was saying before, right? Everybody ain't gonna take that shit lightly. Everybody's not gonna take that shit as a joke. Everybody is not gonna accept it as, oh, it's content. Nah, we don't give a fuck about that, bro. No. So you see what Logan Paul said? You know, he did the shit, he tried the shit over there. Thinking that, oh, Logan Paul white, he my kind, you know what I'm saying? He gonna be cool with it. He tried that shit over there. Logan Paul said, look, get the fuck out. Get the fuck up and get the fuck out. If I gotta ask you again, I'ma physically remove you myself. It's gonna go another way. It's gonna get ugly in here. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, they realized that this dude ain't playing. You know what I'm saying?
On that, dog.
Real shit.
All white boys ain't on what you want. Anyway, I'm sorry.
He does whatever for the bag, and that's kind of been what the internet.
Back to what I was saying earlier. A lot of these kids, they do whatever for the bag. They just have no morals, no principles, no values. And most of these kids ain't got a tough bone in their body. So I don't understand why y'all constantly get on the internet and think that you safe. You know what I'm saying? Like Adin Ross really believes that because he's now beefed up security because of the Glasses Malone situation, and he's now riding around with police escorts because he don't feel safe. It's like, listen, bro, people don't care about that. Like, there's a lot of people in the world that don't give a fuck that you got security. They don't give a fuck that you got police escorts, bro. You do realize that the police get shot, they get killed too. Security, you know, bodyguards, they have been killed in the line of duty, bro. Like, it happens because you just got some people out here that don't give a fuck, bro. So, like, you can't just go, like, he did the same thing with Joe Buttons, right? Right after the motherfucking Glasses Malone situation, you know, he then was just recently in New York, right? And he's on the bus, on the Sprinter bus or whatever he riding in, you know, he got the cuff him dude with him then, you know, and he's on live, you know, calling out Joe Budden. Hey, Joe Budden, I'm in your city. Let's link up, pussy. And I got the police with me. He's like, no, bro, like what kind of fuck nigga shit is you on? Like you can't do shit like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, at this point, for me, right? For me, you know what I'm saying? It's not even really about him being white. You know what I'm saying? Let's take the race factor out of it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's the simple fact that, listen, me personally, I wouldn't give a fuck what your race is. I would not give a fuck what color your skin is. I have zero tolerance for disrespect, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get the same energy as anybody else would get, bro. There ain't no picking a side over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I got zero tolerance for disrespect. And one thing I cannot stand, right? I cannot stand people that want to act tough and run their mouth. And then when you come to cash that check, they want to now call the police. Or they want to be like, oh, you know, nah, you taking it the wrong way. Or I didn't mean it like that. Or no. You know what I'm saying? It's too late for that. It's past that now. You know what I'm saying? So like, once again, people, like, we gotta understand that, listen, you know, some people in the world just ain't going for certain shit, bro. And that's just what it is. Let's keep going.
Has been for the last few years. These guys are pushed in front of the algorithm because they're, I don't know, I guess they have brand partnerships with Steak, right? He's now in a lawsuit because of Steak, right? This is like the norm. I don't know why or how, but for some reason it's marketed as the counterculture, but it is the main thing. Like, this is what mainstream is now. These kind of guys are now what is being pushed to everybody, and it's terrible, man. I really want to leave these guys behind because, you know, I was in a spaces yesterday and it was talking about all of these things, right? And it was like, well, what can we do? And it's up to the viewers. As a content creator, I'm fighting the algorithm. I'm fighting short form content. I'm fighting streaming. YouTube, it's a crazy algorithm because I'll talk about the music. My last two videos specifically was about the music, and the third video that I'm making, that at the time of recording this isn't out, I can already guarantee you it's going to do better than both those videos because I'm talking about the winners and losers of 2025. I'm talking about something a little bit more controversial. But when you just talk about the music and you just talk about albums, when you just talk about the music and you're not talking about controversy, the algorithms don't really promote it. So we're fighting a lot as content creators on this side of things.
And see, that's another fucked up aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? You see what he's saying? You know what I'm saying? The algorithm on YouTube, right? All they only want to promote the fucked up shit. They want to promote niggas going back and forth with each other. They want to promote niggas on live shooting it out with each other. They want to promote that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? The controversial shit. You know what I'm saying? If you on here and you trying to educate people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that you can't get in the algorithm, but like, you gonna have to mix a little controversy in there. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to, bro, because if you just keep it strictly, you know, to educating folks and trying to uplift people, like, they just not gonna put you in the algorithm like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up, and that's the way of the world, though, bro. It's the same thing with the media outlets. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the platforms that you go on, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it don't matter what it is, bro. Like, everybody wants to be controversial. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to talk shit. Everybody want to put their personal business on the internet. Like, people on the internet don't give a fuck, bro, because most of these people don't know you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, listen, I'm not saying that over time you can meet some genuine people that actually fuck with you and they fuck with your content, and, you know, they actually care about, you know, what you may be going through, right? I'm not saying that those type of people don't exist, but what I'm saying is, for the most part, right, people on the internet really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, most of these people don't know you personally. So when you go like putting all your business on the internet, like, you know, like, these people don't give a fuck. Most of these people just looking at that shit and they're like, man, I'm glad to know some shit. You feel what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
On the how you say, on the Justin Hutt side of things, on the company man side of things, on the more journalistic side of things. And you know, I'm very much a student of the Charlemagne. I'm very much a student of the old academics where, you know, yeah, controversy sells, but I try to be controversial for the right things, right? And so I'm not any better than anybody else because what I may deem is right may not be what somebody else deems is right. They may think it's completely wrong what I'm doing, but I feel as though it is a little bit more nuance and a little bit more intellect to what I'm saying. A lot of these guys like Adin Ross, they're not really saying anything. It's F this, F that, she's a O, she's a B, this, that, and the third. Now, I'm not trying to knock Adin Ross hustles. Yo, get it how you get it, bro. We all in a race. We all trying to, you know, beat these algorithms and put ourselves in the front so we can provide for our families and, you know, be better versions of ourselves. At least that's what I'm in it for. I can't speak for Adin Ross. But there comes a point in a time where you as the viewer, us as the people, have to really be like, are we promoting this? I just see all of the energy around these people. I really just look at us and how we have to make better choices. You know, like me even doing this video, I didn't want to do it because it's like, dang, I'm kind of highlighting this dude. But we have to talk about this. Like, we have to have a conversation about these type of people because we need to worry about the children, because that's the thing. The children are falling into this. Somebody's rewarding them. Somebody's paying for them. Somebody is watching them. I don't even know where to watch them. You got all these different high profile streaming services, and this is what the kids are gravitating towards. So we got to be very mindful of guys like Adin Ross. We got to be very mindful of the Andrew Tates of the world, of the DJ academics in the world, because they're having an agenda and somebody's paying them to disrespect black women, to disrespect women, to disrespect hip-hop, to disrespect the culture, and promote a damn near a dangerous message.
Look at these two fucking old heads. Can you guys go take care of your fucking kids? Go take care of your children. Go feed them, bro. Holy fuck. Please.
Okay, now look, this is the Glasses Malone situation. This is basically his response when Glasses Malone first stepped into the picture and was like, listen, bro, we ain't going for that shit. We're not going to tolerate you disrespecting this black woman like that. Now you see, once again, the racist trope shit. You know what I'm saying? The stereotyping shit. You know what I'm saying? He's telling us, he's assuming, you know, that because he's a black man, you know, that he's got multiple baby mamas and all these kids. Glasses Malone ain't got no kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is the shit that he does, bro. But he's the first person to tell you he don't see color. You're a liar, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're racist and you just refuse to accept it.
It's just like, at this point, it comes to a point. You guys have children. I know you do. You probably have multiple baby mamas. I'm not stupid. Go take care of your fucking kids. Please. For God's sake. It's just embarrassing, dude.
And see, look, this ain't the first time that he done mentioned somebody's kids, because he said the same thing to Joe Buttons too. Go feed your kids, bro. Go take care of your kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what makes you think Joe Button don't take care of his kids? You know what I'm saying? What makes you think that Glasses Malone, you know, if he had kids, wouldn't be taking care of them? The other guy, Trap Bradshaw, right? You know, what makes you think, I think Trap Bradshaw do got kids, but what makes you think that he's not taking care of his kids? You know what I'm saying? Once again, these is people that you don't know personally, and you really don't know much about them besides what you may see on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, most people, they put on the internet what the fuck they want you to see. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, like, you can't really, you know, judge a person from the internet. Yes, you can judge a person based on the behavior that they display on the internet, or you can judge my character based on the way I act on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But unless you really know me personally, you can't really speak on certain aspects of my life. Like, you can't, unless you know me personally and you know my situation, you can't just assume that because I'm a black man with kids that I don't take care of. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy work, bro.
You guys will defend this girl, but you won't even defend probably your own baby mama.
And we got to look at anybody who's aligning themselves with him. We got to look at the rappers that go over there. We got to look at the streamers that stream with him. I am so happy and proud of Kai Cenat and of I Show Speed because they gravitated away from him.
Tav is a white man, by the way. He proceeds to say, from Nike to McDonald's, but bro, keep it real, bro. Nigga, a chicken Big Mac, nigga, a chicken Big Mac, nigga. He on my phone calling me the N-word at 4 a.m. and the fuck supposed to be a nigga manager and you, what's up with you? I was like, damn, I want to tell Adin, but it was his nigga birthday. The way the nigga made it sound like the nigga was down. I'm like, I know the feeling of losing somebody so important on your team. I told him this before anything, so I told Adin, I said, bro, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, bro. The reason why I've been distancing myself, bro, was because like this is what happened on the phone at 4 a.m. and I should have told you. But like in my mental state, I wasn't in that mode to.
Don't cheat! Don't cheat! Dochi, what's up? How you doing, Dochi?
You look so
Dochi, you are killing it.
Thank you.
You putting on for the black girls out there.
Thank you.
Keep going crazy.
And you like one of the.
I'm not the biggest into the streamers, but I love every time I see I Show Speed. He is saying free Palestine. He's saying these certain things, and he's keeping the wits of him. You know what I mean? He's doing stuff for the culture, for the people, and he hasn't, started red pilling. You get what I'm saying? He hasn't been in the manosphere red pill ideology kind of culture that is over there. And so even Kai Cenat coming out and talking about his mental health, I thought that was brave. I thought that was dope because, yeah, I could imagine, I was talking about how, Sean C should be bigger in that spaces that I was in yesterday. But, this plays on your mental health. Everybody could say, oh, it's just comments. You can ignore them. But bro, you don't know how this is because you go outside into the public and people are like, you know what I mean? They maybe not like what you say or they maybe like what you say too much. This takes a toll on you. This much social media interaction is not normal. So I can't fault a person for feeling some type of mental health problem because, yeah, this is weird. And in content creation, you always want to outdo your next video. And of course, you want to do it for the love. You want to do it for the art. But then you start pushing into it as it being like a source of income. And then you start focusing on the numbers. You start focusing on this and that and third. So it can weigh on you mentally. And so everybody could easily say, oh, man, I know who I am. So, it comes with the territory. But, it's still not normal. We're like some of the first people dealing with this. These are like we're still in a small window of people who are dealing with this much social media interaction, who dealing with this much fame, who dealing with this many cameras, who's like stream.
All right. I think we gonna stop it right there. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, man, if y'all want to go check the full video out, you can head over to Read My Soul. You know what I'm saying? And you can check it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a good video. He breaks down a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I found it very informative. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna stop it right there because I think, it's still probably about a good 7 more minutes. You know what I'm saying? But I think we're gonna stop it right there. So basically, right, what I'm saying is, listen, I think we've come to a point now where, right, we have to, you know what I'm saying, we have to, we got to get this dude up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like that's the only way we're going to get rid of these types of people, right? You know what I'm saying? Like eventually, you gotta stop supporting, this type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because like, listen, going on the internet and making content, that really doesn't do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it brings awareness to the people, especially the ones that may not know. But at the end of the day, right? Like, listen, I've seen a lot of different content creators run content on Adin Ross since this situation jumped off, right? Like every day, somebody's running content on it. But in order to like really hurt these people, you gotta you gotta stop supporting them. You gotta hit the pockets. You gotta hit their pockets. You know what I'm saying? And then when they reach that point, you know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, it's starting to get to that point with Adin Ross because, he was discussing in a video recently that while he was in New York, you know what I'm saying, that when he got back from New York, he was supposed to have a stream with a famous basketball player. And he said at the last minute, his PR team called, or, the basketball player's PR team called and canceled at the last minute. And basically, in so many words, what they were saying was that because of all the shit that he got going on right now, like I said, the lawsuit with Drake, and Steak, you know what I'm saying, the Doechii shit, you know what I'm saying, they just felt like, listen, we don't think it would be a good idea, to do this, you know what I'm saying. We'll get back to you. So now he's making it seem like that these people are going to reschedule. I highly doubt that this basketball player is going to sit down with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think these people are going to reschedule anything. I think what they're going to do is, every time you hit them up trying to reschedule that stream, they're going to blow you off, or they're going to just keep giving you the runaround. They're going to keep spinning you, bro. Because it's like at the end of the day, we as people, right, we're tired of your antics, bro. And like I said, running content is not enough. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, and I think the next step after this, right, is after this situation dies down and the Steak situation, the lawsuit is resolved with him and Drake, I think the next step is to get kicked the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, as long as that platform allows these kids to just do and say whatever they want, it's not going to stop. Even if we get Adin Ross the fuck up out of here, you're going to have another person try to take his place. So essentially, we're going to have to get the whole fucking community to fuck up. It's either Kick is going to have to put some terms of services in place and say, listen, we are no longer going to allow y'all to just say and do whatever you want. We gotta regulate this shit somehow. Because if we don't, y'all want to get us caught up in some bullshit, and we gonna end up getting shut the fuck down, and ain't nobody gonna be able to make money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I really hate, you know what I'm saying, that it had to come down to this, but like, I just feel like at this point, because he's done so much weird shit, bro. Like, you seen him sniffing the motherfucking seats after motherfuckers get up. That's weird shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Stereotyping motherfuckers that you don't even know, don't even have a clue of what their situation is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just weirdo shit, bro, on top of being racist. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I hope that y'all enjoyed the video, man. Like I said, this is the first episode, and I promise you, like I said, I'm new to this, bro. So like, once I get into the flow of this, you know what I'm saying, I promise you the content will get better. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but like I said, I hope everybody enjoyed the episode, man. And if you didn't take anything, you know, from the episode, you know, I want you to leave here understanding that, you know what I'm saying, we cannot continue to support the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? We got to start teaching folks, you know what I'm saying? Not just the kids, but the kids, and you know, first and foremost, we got to start teaching the kids that listen, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the kids that really watch these streamers, and it's the kids that see these streamers and they be like, oh, you know, I want to be like him, or I want to do what he doing, and boo, boo, boo. And it's like, but there's nobody there to tell him, okay, listen, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? But you have to, you know, you have to, you have to maintain some type of integrity about yourself. Don't get, you know, don't be one of them people that's just willing to do anything for a check. You know what I'm saying? Don't be one of those people, because we already got way too many people like that. Way too many. You know what I'm saying? Like Adin Ross is not the first streamer to do this type of shit, and he's not going to be the last. But I promise you, if we start making examples out of these types of people, and we start getting them the fuck up out of here, where now they can't make no money, then they have no only choice but to realize, you know, the consequences of their actions. You know, but anyway, man, like I said, it's your boy Blanco, man. This was the first episode of the Keep It Authentic podcast. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure you share the video with a friend. Tell a friend and tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, you know, I'm working on, you know, setting a regular schedule to where, you know, I really want to drop, you know, I ain't gonna lie to you, I want to drop content at least 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, I got kids, you know, and I got a family, you know what I'm saying? I got a fiance, so, you know, I gotta make sure that, you know, I can set aside the time to be able to do that without it interfering with, you know, other things that may be important. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's the goal, man. But once again, you know what I'm saying, it's your boy Blanco, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the video.